Have you ever met someone who just doesn't seem to age? Not just in their face, but in their energy, in the way they smile, in the way they move through life like time doesn't touch them. What if I told you that it's not about perfect skin? It's not about expensive diets. And it's definitely not just luck. There's something deeper, something written inside their soul. And if you're a Sagittarius, or someone close to a Sagittarius, you might have noticed this already. But today, we're going to uncover why. Because the truth is, Sagittarius carries a secret, a hidden power, something that makes them glow from within. Not many people talk about it. But once you understand it, you'll never see aging the same way again. This is not a video about astrology cliches. It's about understanding the emotional patterns, the mindset, the behaviors that keep Sagittarius forever young. And maybe, just maybe, you can learn to apply it in your own life too. So, if you're curious, if you're ready for something deeper, stay with me. And if you enjoy this journey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. It helps more souls find their light. Now, are you ready to discover the secret? Let's begin. Have you ever looked at a Sagittarius and wondered, how do they stay so alive? Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. It's like their energy never fades. Like life itself keeps flowing through them, refusing to let them slow down. The truth is, Sagittarius doesn't just live. They reinvent. Constantly. There's a restless fire inside them. A deep need to keep moving, keep growing, keep discovering who they are. And that's the first secret to their youthful energy. Reinvention. While many people get comfortable, build their routines, and let life settle, Sagittarius does the opposite. They seek change. Not because they're lost, but because they know life isn't about arriving. It's about becoming. Think about it. When was the last time you allowed yourself to become someone new? Sagittarians do it without thinking. Every challenge, every journey, every conversation reshapes them. That restless energy isn't random. It's their soul refusing to stagnate. And when your spirit stays young, your body follows. But what fuels this constant motion? It's something deeper than just personality. It's their relationship with uncertainty. For most people, uncertainty feels like danger, like a place we should avoid. But for Sagittarius, uncertainty is possibility. A new road waiting to be explored. This mindset changes everything. Instead of fearing what they don't know, they lean into it. They understand something most people forget: life is not about control. It's about exploration. When you see uncertainty as potential, you stop resisting change. You start dancing with it. And that dance keeps you alive inside. Imagine you're standing at the edge of something unknown. A new job. A big decision. A change you didn't expect. Do you freeze? Or do you step forward? Sagittarius steps forward. Not because they're fearless, but because their curiosity is stronger than their fear. And here's something powerful: curiosity is the opposite of stagnation. When you're curious, your mind stays open. Your heart stays soft. You stay connected to the flow of life. Sagittarians live in that state of curiosity every day. That's why they seem lighter, brighter, younger. It's not just about big adventures either. It's the small moments. Saying yes to a spontaneous road trip. Trying a new recipe even if it fails. Starting a conversation with a stranger just to see where it goes. Their life is built around the idea that something beautiful might be just around the corner. That mindset? It keeps their spirit awake. But it's not just curiosity. It's how they treat routine. Or rather, how they avoid it. Where others seek safety in repetition, Sagittarius sees a trap. Routine, for them, feels like slow decay. Like the walls are closing in. And psychologically, that makes sense. Studies show that when we repeat the same patterns for too long, our brains stop building new connections. Our minds settle. And with that mental stagnation, often comes emotional and physical stagnation too. Sagittarians know this without needing research. It's in their instincts. They crave change not because they're reckless, but because they're protecting their soul. Each new experience keeps their mind flexible. Each surprise keeps their emotions fresh. Their refusal to live on autopilot is like a daily workout for their inner world. And it shows. Have you ever noticed how a Sagittarius friend lights up when they talk about something new? That sparkle in their eyes isn't forced. It's real. Their brain is alive. Their heart is engaged. They're not recycling yesterday's energy. They're creating today's. And that creation process, that's the hidden source of their youth. They don't let life settle. They stir it up. Not out of boredom, but out of a deep understanding that growth is life. Movement is survival. Curiosity is medicine. Now, let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you broke your own routine? When was the last time you said yes to something that scared you, just a little? That simple choice, to seek novelty, could be the first step toward reigniting your own inner spark. Because here's the secret most people miss. Youth isn't a physical state. It's a state of energy. And energy follows focus. If you keep focusing on comfort, predictability, and control, your energy settles. If you focus on exploration, surprise, and possibility, your energy rises. Sagittarius lives in that rising energy. That's why they stand out. Why people say they seem younger than their years. It's not magic. It's a mindset. A choice. One you can make too. So the next time life presents you with a fork in the road, ask yourself, what would your inner Sagittarius choose? The familiar? Or the unknown? The safe? Or the adventure? Choosing the unknown isn't always easy. But maybe, just maybe, it's the only way to keep your soul alive. And when your soul stays young, everything else follows. Their secret isn't in their skin. It's in their fire. A fire they feed every single day. There's something else about Sagittarius that people often overlook. It's their way of seeing life itself. While most people carry invisible weights, worries, doubts, regrets, Sagittarius chooses something different. They choose optimism. But this isn't the shallow kind of positivity that simply ignores problems. It's a deeper force. It's their belief that life is always working in their favor, even when things fall apart. That trust in the bigger picture protects them from sinking emotionally. And when your heart stays light, your energy stays young. Think about how stress shows up in your body. Tight shoulders. Lines around your eyes. Restless sleep. Now imagine a Sagittarius. They let go of what they can't control. They smile. They move forward. This isn't carelessness, it's wisdom. Because holding on to every problem only ages you from the inside out. Sagittarians know how to release the unnecessary. And that emotional freedom is one of their most powerful secrets. You might remember a time when you felt overwhelmed. Maybe work was too much. Maybe life felt heavy. What did you do? Did you keep carrying that weight? Or did you give yourself permission to step back, to breathe, to trust that things would be okay? Sagittarius lives that way. Almost by instinct. They understand that their inner peace is more valuable than their temporary struggles. That's not weakness. That's strength. But optimism isn't their only medicine. Sagittarius also knows how to laugh. Really laugh. The kind of laughter that fills a room. That shakes the body. That resets the soul. When life gets heavy, they don't close off. They open up. They use humor as a tool. A way to move through problems instead of getting stuck inside them. Their laughter isn't just a reaction, it's a healing process. And it's not just for them. Their laughter is contagious. It draws people in. It makes others feel lighter too. Have you ever been in a serious situation, then someone cracked a joke at the perfect moment? And suddenly, the tension broke? That's Sagittarius energy. They know that joy isn't something you wait for. It's something you create. And in creating joy, they protect their own youthful spark. Science backs this up. Laughter relaxes muscles, improves blood flow, even boosts immunity. But Sagittarius doesn't need studies to tell them this. They feel it. They live it. Every time they laugh, they're letting go of tension their body doesn't need. They're telling life, I'm still here. And I choose joy. If you've ever watched a Sagittarius move through difficulty, you'll notice something rare. They don't avoid pain, but they refuse to stay in it. Their first instinct is to find light, to seek humor, to remind themselves, and everyone around them, that no moment of darkness lasts forever. But where does that resilience come from? The answer is simple: curiosity. Sagittarius never stops learning, never stops asking questions. Their mind is always open, always searching, always expanding. For them, life is a school without walls. Every experience, every person, every place is a lesson. And learning excites them. Think of a child discovering the world. Eyes wide open. Endless questions. That's Sagittarius, even in adulthood. And that curiosity? It keeps their mind young. A curious mind stays flexible. It resists the stiffness that age can bring. And a flexible mind leads to a flexible spirit. You see, when people stop learning, they stop growing. And when growth ends, energy fades. Sagittarius refuses to stop growing. Their hunger for knowledge isn't about collecting facts. It's about feeding their soul. When they learn something new, they feel alive. It's not about knowing everything. It's about discovering something new every day. That constant state of discovery is like fuel. It keeps their inner fire burning. You might think back to a time when you learned something that changed how you saw the world. A book. A conversation. A moment of clarity. Remember how alive you felt? Sagittarius lives in that feeling. Not occasionally, but daily. That's why they seem timeless. It's not because they avoid aging. It's because they keep growing. And growth is life. And here's the part many forget. Their love of learning isn't just mental. It's emotional. Every new insight challenges their beliefs, reshapes their thinking, opens their heart wider. They aren't afraid to be wrong. They aren't afraid to be beginners. They know that being a student of life is what keeps them vibrant. Their curiosity isn't just a trait, it's a lifeline. But Sagittarius doesn't just learn from books. They learn from people. And that's why social connection is so vital for them. When they're with others, sharing stories, exchanging ideas, they're not just having fun. They're feeding their spirit. Human connection nourishes them in ways solitude can't. Being around people isn't just enjoyable for Sagittarius. It's healing. Every conversation sparks new thoughts. Every laugh releases tension. Every shared moment creates emotional warmth. Their friendships aren't shallow, they're sources of life energy. When they're isolated, their light dims. But when they're connected, they shine. There's a powerful psychological truth here. Social interaction isn't just pleasant. It's essential for mental health. It reduces stress hormones, increases happiness chemicals, even boosts the immune system. Sagittarius lives this truth instinctively. They seek connection not because they're lonely, but because they understand that we're not meant to journey alone. And those connections help them in another way. They provide emotional support. A network of people who remind Sagittarius that they're not carrying life's challenges by themselves. This support system strengthens their resilience. It helps them bounce back faster. It fuels their optimism. And most importantly, it keeps their inner world soft, open, and alive. As you think about your own life, ask yourself, when was the last time you reached out? Not because you needed something, but because your soul needed connection. Sometimes, one conversation is enough to reignite your spirit. Sagittarius understands that deeply. And that's why their energy feels so magnetic. Their love of people, their hunger for learning, their joy in laughter, and their unwavering optimism. These aren't random traits. They're survival strategies. Ways of keeping their spirit light, their mind sharp, and their body vibrant. And yet, the most profound reasons why Sagittarius seems to defy time are still to come. Because in the final part of this journey, we'll reveal the 3 deepest secrets. Insights so powerful, and perhaps even controversial, that they might change the way you view aging, freedom, and the purpose of your own life. Stay with me. What you're about to discover could surprise you. There's something about Sagittarius that most people misunderstand. Many think they're just adventurous, or fun-loving, or wild. But beneath that surface is something far more powerful. Their open mind. Not just open to new places or experiences, but open to new ways of thinking. This is one of their greatest hidden strengths. Because when your mind stays open, your spirit stays free. And freedom is one of the deepest keys to emotional youth. Think about people who get stuck in rigid thinking. People who say, that's how it's always been. Or this is who I am. Over time, that mental confinement becomes emotional weight. Life starts to feel smaller. Opportunities begin to feel limited. And without realizing it, their energy begins to fade. Sagittarius resists this. They refuse to let their beliefs become cages. They embrace change. They welcome new perspectives. They understand that life is too big to see through just one lens. This open-mindedness keeps their mind alive and their emotions fresh. And in psychology, there's a name for this: cognitive flexibility. The ability to adapt your thinking when new information arrives. Sagittarians live this. When life changes, they change with it. When something challenges their beliefs, they listen. And that flexibility protects them from the emotional exhaustion that comes from fighting change. Because resistance drains energy. But openness renews it. Now imagine what that does to your physical presence. When your mind stays flexible, your body follows. Your posture opens. Your face relaxes. Your voice softens. People can feel your lightness. And that's the secret no one tells you. Youth isn't just in your skin. It's in how you carry your soul. But why does Sagittarius value this freedom so much? It's not just a personality trait. It's a survival instinct. To them, freedom isn't negotiable. It's what makes life worth living. They crave the ability to choose, to explore, to create their own path. And when they feel trapped, even by their own habits, they start to lose that spark. Emotional freedom works the same way. When a Sagittarius feels restricted by expectations, or weighed down by emotional baggage, it affects their whole energy. They know this. That's why they're so protective of their independence. Not just in actions, but in thoughts and emotions too. You might know someone like this. A friend who refuses to settle. Who chooses the harder path just to stay true to themselves. That's Sagittarius energy. And while others may call it rebellious, it's actually wisdom. Because staying emotionally free means choosing joy over control, growth over safety, expansion over comfort. And here's something you might not expect. Their spontaneity isn't just about thrill-seeking. It's their way of staying emotionally alive. Being spontaneous means they don't overthink every decision. They don't get trapped in analysis or worry. They follow their instinct. And in doing that, they protect their mind from the kind of overplanning that drains the soul. Imagine waking up tomorrow and deciding to take a different route to work. Or saying yes to a last-minute invitation. Or trying something without knowing the outcome. That's how Sagittarius lives. Their spontaneity keeps life fresh. Keeps their emotions flexible. Keeps their inner world playful. And that playful energy is not childish. It's childlike. There's a difference. Childish avoids responsibility. Childlike embraces wonder. Sagittarius holds on to that wonder. And that wonder is the true source of their youth. When you live in a constant state of playfulness, your mind relaxes. Your heart opens. Your body responds. It's why their energy feels lighter than most people's. Because while others carry the tension of overthinking, Sagittarius carries the ease of being present. This doesn't mean they're irresponsible. Far from it. They know how to balance action with freedom. How to honor commitments while still seeking adventure. But their core belief remains simple: life is meant to be lived. Not planned. Not controlled. Lived. And that belief shows in how they handle life's challenges. Where others see obstacles, Sagittarius sees invitations. Invitations to learn. To grow, to adapt. Their optimistic spirit protects them from falling into the mental traps of fear and overthinking. They don't ask, "What if I fail?" They ask, "What might I discover?" And that question changes everything. Optimism for Sagittarius isn't ignoring problems. It's focusing on solutions. It's trusting that every setback holds a lesson. That every difficulty leads to a new path. And that trust keeps them emotionally resilient. Have you ever been through a hard time and someone told you, "Just think positive"? It felt empty, didn't it? Because positivity without depth feels fake. But Sagittarius doesn't practice shallow positivity. They practice hopeful realism. They acknowledge the challenge, but believe in the possibility. And that belief shapes their emotional state. When you choose hope, you release stress. When you trust life, your body softens. Your mind stops fighting. And your energy begins to flow again. Sagittarius teaches us that hope isn't weakness. It's power. It's the fuel that keeps them moving. The light that keeps them glowing. So the next time life feels heavy, ask yourself, are you carrying unnecessary worries? Are you letting fear shape your path? Or can you let go and choose to believe, just like Sagittarius does? Because the truth is, freedom, flexibility, playfulness, and hope, these aren't just personality traits. They're emotional strategies. Practices that protect your soul from aging too soon. And Sagittarius? They live these practices every day. But what if I told you, their deepest secrets are still ahead? Because the final 3 insights reveal not just why Sagittarius stays young, but how they use their struggles, their fire, and their philosophy to create something most people never find. Not just a youthful body, but an ageless soul. In the final part of this journey, I'll show you why. Stay with me. What's coming next might change everything. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to shine brighter after each challenge, while others seem to carry the weight of every struggle on their shoulders? Sagittarius holds a quiet secret here. They don't avoid difficulty. They embrace it. But they see challenges differently from most. Where others see obstacles as problems, Sagittarius sees them as invitations to grow. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every hardship, a new story waiting to be written. It's not that life is easier for them. It's that their mindset transforms every experience. When something breaks in their life, they don't ask, "Why me?" They ask, "What can this teach me?" This question keeps their energy alive. It keeps their spirit moving forward. And when your spirit stays in motion, your body often follows. Think of someone you admire. Someone who's faced hard times, but seems stronger for it. That strength, that quiet resilience, that's Sagittarius energy. It's built through every battle they've faced, and every smile they've chosen to keep. Life, for them, is not a road to survive. It's an adventure to conquer. And this adventurous approach doesn't just shape how they handle pain. It shapes how they carry their energy. Sagittarius often looks younger not because they avoid life's scars, but because they know how to heal while still walking forward. And that healing shows. But there's another hidden force inside them. Something deeper than optimism. Something older than hope. It's their connection to their inner fire. This isn't just a poetic image. It's a real psychological pattern. Fire, in astrology, symbolizes life force, movement, transformation. Sagittarius carries that fire naturally. It's in the way they speak. The way they move. The way they light up a room just by walking in. Have you ever watched a Sagittarius talk about something they love? Their eyes brighten. Their hands move. Their whole body joins the conversation. That's their fire burning from within. That fire is not something that fades with age. In fact, for many Sagittarians, it grows stronger over time. Why? Because they feed it. Every new experience. Every new dream. Every new discovery. It's fuel for their inner flame. And when your fire burns, your energy stays alive. But fire does something else, too. It keeps them in motion. Fire signs can't sit still for long. And this constant movement isn't random. It's their soul's way of staying young. Movement, both physical and emotional, prevents stagnation. When your energy moves, your mind stays open. Your emotions stay fluid. And your body responds. That's why Sagittarius doesn't just look youthful. They feel youthful. They embody energy in its purest form. And that energy? It radiates from them, drawing others in. Not because they're trying, but because they're alive. Now, think about how emotional weight can age you. The stress. The regrets. The old stories you carry inside. Sagittarius knows something most people forget: holding on ages you. Holding on to past pain, past mistakes, past failures, it creates heaviness inside your soul. And that heaviness shows. Sagittarius doesn't cling to the past. They release it. Not because they're cold or careless, but because they know it's the only way to stay free. Emotional baggage slows you down. And Sagittarius refuses to be slowed. They understand that forgiveness isn't a gift for others. It's freedom for themselves. Have you ever carried something for too long? A regret. A mistake. A memory that hurts more than it heals. What would happen if you let it go? Not ignored it. Not buried it. But gently released it? Sagittarius lives in that state of release. They choose forward motion over backward reflection. They choose freedom over emotional heaviness. And in that choice, their soul stays light. That emotional lightness affects their body. When your heart isn't burdened, your muscles relax. Your breathing deepens. Your skin glows. Your posture opens. Letting go isn't just a mental shift. It's physical. Sagittarius understands this in ways they often can't explain. They just feel it. and they choose to move forward again and again. But there's one more subtle power they carry. Humor. Not just laughter. Not just smiles. But a deeper, more philosophical sense of humor. The ability to see the irony in life. The absurdity of struggle. The comedy within chaos. While others drown in their problems, Sagittarius steps back and smiles. They see that life is unpredictable, messy, imperfect. And instead of resisting that truth, they lean into it. They laugh. And that laughter isn't about ignoring pain. It's about softening the edges of difficulty. It's about making space for joy, even when life feels impossible. Laughter resets their body, releases their mind, refreshes their soul. They understand something powerful: you can't control everything. But you can control your reaction. And their reaction, more often than not, is to laugh. To find something light. Something human. Something funny. This sense of irony is their secret weapon against stress. Against exhaustion. Against aging itself. Because when your spirit can find humor, you stay soft inside. And softness, not hardness, is what keeps you youthful. Sagittarius teaches us a lesson here. Take life seriously enough to learn from it, but not so seriously that you forget to laugh along the way. That balance is rare. But it's what keeps their energy fresh, their heart open, and their appearance glowing. So now, let me ask you something. When life last challenged you, did you frown? Or did you smile? That small choice could change more than you realize. And yet, even with all this, Sagittarius holds 3 deeper secrets. Secrets about wisdom, about philosophy, about life itself. In the final part of this journey, we'll explore the last 3 reasons Sagittarius seems ageless. But these reasons go far beyond personality traits. They touch something universal. Something timeless. What if maturity doesn't have to mean heaviness? What if wisdom could make you feel lighter? In the next moments, you'll discover the final keys. And they might just shift the way you think about age, forever. There's something beautiful about the way Sagittarius carries wisdom. Most people think that as we grow wiser, we also grow heavier. We carry more worries, more regrets, more complexity. But Sagittarius proves something different. Their love for philosophy and big ideas doesn't weigh them down. It lifts them up. They see life through a wide lens. Always searching for truth. Always asking the deeper questions. Why are we here? What does happiness really mean? What does it mean to live well? And yet, instead of those questions becoming a burden, they become a source of peace. Because Sagittarius understands, you don't need all the answers. The search itself is the gift. That endless curiosity for life's mysteries keeps their mind sharp. But more than that, it gives them perspective. When you focus on the bigger picture, small stresses don't consume you. Daily worries lose their power. Think about a time when you were stuck in a problem. Then you took a step back. Looked at the whole picture. And suddenly, what felt overwhelming began to feel small. That shift is what Sagittarius lives every day. Their wisdom doesn't age them because they don't let it turn into overthinking. They use it as clarity, as calm, as trust. They accept that life will always have unknowns, always have imperfections. But they don't fight that. They embrace it. And that acceptance frees their mind. It allows them to breathe, to be present. And when your mind is at peace, your body often follows. Their relaxed presence isn't a personality trick. It's a reflection of inner balance. A soul that isn't fighting the world, but flowing with it. Now, take a moment. Think about your own life. Are you carrying too many questions that weigh you down? Are you chasing answers that only create more tension? Maybe, like Sagittarius, you can let go of needing to know. And simply trust that the journey itself is enough. Sometimes, peace is not in having answers. It's in knowing you're still growing. That mindset might just be the real secret behind the Sagittarius glow. Not perfection, but perspective. And yet, there's one final insight we haven't touched. Something that might seem unexpected. Sagittarius, with all their energy and playfulness, also holds a powerful connection to something most people avoid. Struggle. They don't run from it. They don't fear it. In fact, they welcome it. Not because they enjoy pain, but because they understand that challenges are what strengthen the soul. Every obstacle they face becomes part of their story. Every hardship, a chance to evolve. They treat life like a great adventure. And adventures aren't always easy. They include risks, failures, wounds. But Sagittarius knows, the goal isn't to avoid these things. It's to move through them and emerge stronger. That's why their energy stays young. Their body stays vibrant. And their spirit stays alive. Because they don't let struggle harden them. They let it sharpen them. They grow, not in spite of challenges, but because of them. Maybe you're facing something difficult right now. Maybe life feels heavy. If so, remember this. Your struggle doesn't have to define you. It can refine you. You're allowed to fall. But what matters is that you keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Just like Sagittarius. And maybe, that's the most ageless quality of all. So today, what have we really learned? That youth isn't just skin deep. It's soul deep. It's not about escaping life's weight. It's about learning to carry it lightly. Like Sagittarius does. With freedom. With curiosity. With hope. With laughter. And with a heart that keeps seeking, no matter how many years pass. If you saw yourself in this video, if some part of your spirit feels like it's been waiting to hear this, then stay with us. There's more to explore. More journeys to take together. Hit subscribe if you want to keep growing with us. Like this video if it spoke to you. And share it with someone who needs to remember that life isn't meant to feel heavy. Leave a comment below. Tell me, what keeps your soul young? And remember, this is only the beginning. In the next videos, we'll dive deeper into other signs, other stories, other paths to finding your own ageless energy. I can't wait to see you there.